Bear with me 1 minute.
My old man, I get it, and my girl was doing, I'm breaking the profit. On my way, people calling me names, all the trouble I see, I ain't do at a piece. When the suffering, the sources, I can't pay the poor, how I get paid. Sooner or later, my hustle pay. Let pay, and I'm rushing myself. Keep it cool, everything have a CC. Too much rushing, I probably chasing. One day, one day. One day. I'll get it cool. One day, my
hustle gonna pay one day. Any mess they're gonna see my face. Me pa know and I watching it. One day, success gonna come my way. I know my hustle gonna pay one day. Any mess they're gonna see my face. Me pa know and I watching it. One day, success gonna come my way. Yeah. My mama was so angry. My papa was so angry. My friend was eat money. Any mess that will come on that knees. So I on my way. 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 I'm on my way to this place and I'm looking for money. Looking for money, oh. Looking for money. I want my mama happy. Want me papa happy. Want me all my brothers and sisters to come around me.
Hey, Capilico, why you know you hustle? Why saying the book by the Genesis? Shall come to power, shall come to power. I feel be working on Wednesday. In my love for the my, in my love for the ma. All in the dark, all in the dark, all in the week, all in the week. All in the sun,
my mama was so angry. My papa was so angry. My friend was eat money. Any mess that will come on that knees. So I on my way. 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 I'm on my way to this place and I'm looking for money.
We got something.
We are at Garden of Eve, Caribbean cuisine. So we have a beautiful outdoor that we have a selection of different type of food that you can enjoy. We have jerk chicken, jerk ribs, especially the weekend. We got some different specials gonna go on, and we are basic Haitian cooking, but also you can find a little bit of everything that we carry here. And we are at 405 Harris Avenue, Providence, Rhode Island. Thank you, come on by and try us out. Looking forward to see you guys.
Good morning. Welcome to Tony Commander, Glapohkpa Chesson talk show. Today is Saturday, November the 19th. We wake up with 30 degrees in Providence, Rhode Island, lower 30s. It's cloudy now. Check the news. As I remember, we're supposed to be going sunny, but staying low with the temperature. So wherever it is, you know what I always say, take heed and govern yourselves accordingly. Seatbelt, young people, put those seatbelts on. Safety first. What's happening in Ukraine, man? We woke up this morning, we hear they're just getting electricity back from a massive bombardment of the electrical grid by Russia. Wow, man. It's just every time I hear about Ukraine, man, it irks me because to see people just come into your nation and destroy your whole nation and take away your livelihood, your sense of peace and stability, that's troubling, man. Then we look at India, man. Let me tell you, my people, all these landfills we got with dirt, all the dirt we got piled up, it's not just sitting there. It's turning to methane and sulfur. And all this dirt seeps through the earth and goes into the earth, to the water line, under the earth, and mix with the water. And that's what's happening in India right now. India has a massive landfill. Now, all the people living around the landfill, the water contaminated. Why? Because the rain, the dampness, everything that sit on the landfill, that way they throw the trash. Everybody go there throw trash. India got one of the largest landfill with dirt and every trash. People just throw their trash, everything, they just throw it there. And that thing just sit there for years. It's not just sitting there. The rain beating it, the snow hitting it, the sun beating and coming. Where do you think all that water going? It's sipping through all that trash and going to the earth and going under the earth, seeping through the earth. And we got one world, whether we believe it or not. We got one world. All our water lines, all our air, everything, they flow in a certain pattern. So when certain people get messed up in certain area and the water line in that area get messed up, it seeps through all the earth into other areas. Our creeks, our rivers, our little freshwater lakes. It seeps into them and it contaminates them. And that's what happened in India right now. All the people living around the landfill, their water contaminated. They're testing the water. All the water got methane, got sulfur, all of that seeping from the dirt that's sitting down there. They pour the water, it's brown. So all that water, people living around it, not near them, just around. They didn't say how far around. It could be 1 mile from the place, 2 miles. But all of that water seeping into the earth is going to the water and the people now are drinking it and getting sick. So they're talking about that right now. And that is a concern for Africa. That's why I'm bringing this up, because this is a concern for us. Look at all the dirt and trash we got sitting down one place in Monrovia, all over our country. What do you think that thing going? It's going in the earth. It's going in the water we're drinking, our children playing in. That's why I tell you, every time it rains, my heart cuts for my people when I see a plane running through the waters. Now, all the water is contaminated, man. Feces. Now they're talking about snakes and all these things. But these are hazards we got to take into consideration. So let me get into my topic for this morning. 2023 presidential and general elections. Understanding and appreciating a significant distinction from the historical and cultural past to the current realities of our social interactions. I hope that makes sense. I try to rather make it sense to myself because I don't want to confuse you with all these long topics. But what I'm trying to say is we have to make a distinction from our past, all our historical things we did, to what we're doing today. We got to weigh them. We can't just say, oh, that's not good, it's evil. And I will tell you where all of this is coming from. So let me take a break. Let's have an ad. Let me take my coffee. And I'll come back. We'll talk about this thing because it's important for our election now and for us as citizens of the Republic of Liberia, understanding where we need to go to ensure peace and stability among us through understanding who we are and what we stand for and believe in. Okay? So let's take a break and I'll go through this.
I'm an agent here at AmeriLife, and I help people with their Medicare, life insurance, and annuities. If you ever need anything, please give me a call. My number is 434-426-9493. And we're located in Cranston, Rhode Island.
So, what do I mean by this? For this election, we must understand and appreciate the distinction between our cultural and historical past and our interaction with each other today on the social line, on the political line, on whatever other lines, economic, socio-political, and economic lines. When we understand these relationships and how they relate to our past and how today we cannot rely on the past to determine where our socio-political existence will be today and for tomorrow, our whole lives will change. We become understanding of each other. Because right now, Liberians, we have advanced, whether we believe or not. We have come through our country and community. We are going through our civil war. We are going through Ebola. All these things brought us somewhat together. Now, right now, all are looking for solutions to our problems. How can we resolve all these issues we are facing in our country? How can we stand united in spite of all the difficulties we have with tribalism, with stealing, with corruption, with killing? How can we stand united to save our country from all these debilitating negatives that are haunting us? How can we do that? We have to have a sound understanding of who we are, of our roots, of our history, and how they relate to us today in this social realm. Why am I saying all of this? What is bringing all of this to mind? Because if you all watched Spoon TV recently, the issue there was a very significant issue about L.A. Cummings having his shoe tied by a woman, by L.A. Cummings sitting in a hammock in one of our native villages and being carried like in the olden days when they used to do Tutman and all our Congo people that go up there. You know, they try to relate it. The whole story, let me tell you how it started. Apparently, Cummings and his group went to a mosque to pay a visit. And I even showing it again. And I showing that tape because I thought about recording to show it on my show. But I said, no, I'm not giving it credence. I will just talk about it and let's address these things, because if we're going forward, we need to address these things, because it will not only impact our electoral process, it will impact our lives after that, as it has done from time immemorial. It will impact our lives. So let's look at it. He's saying that he put the picture of Cummings sitting in a hammock and the people told in the hammock. He condemned that. He tore it apart. Then he showed the picture, the video, when they went to this mosque to visit the mosque. And before they entered the mosque, the people told them, you're going to take off your shoes. So when everybody was sitting down to take off their shoes, one of the comic supporter bent down and started loosening his shoes for him. And, you know, you could see he was embarrassed about it. But the woman had already done, she was already in the act doing it, bending down in front of him, all that kind of thing, rubbing up against him. He was embarrassed. So he just pat her on the back and left it. Spoon TV made a whole issue about that, along our tribal and cultural lines. Then they condemn me. I'm not an Alexander Cummings supporter. I'm not a Boycott supporter. I'm not a We Are supporter. I'm a Liberian political scientist. I don't want to get involved in politics. I just want to study the situation and condemn and applaud what's going on in my country. Now, after he said this, you know, they made a big issue of it on the show, man. He and Keith, you know, Keith Hassan is his little sidekick. Every time he wants to call trouble, he call Keith, hey, Keith. Then Keith come on, yeah, you know, yeah. I said, look at the other crazy man. They're two crazy people. So they plan their thing before they come on, you know. So when he talked, he passed it on to Keith, and Keith jumped in there with him, blasting poorly, Francine on the show, and Francine just sitting down there. I said, Francine, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? She just sitting there listening to them because she won against the two men. And that's the same thing they're talking about. That harassment. They were harassing Francine. And they're talking about Ella Cummings. But that's the same thing they're doing. They weren't giving her a chance to talk. They were both bombarding her. She had nobody there to back her. There were two men against one woman. And they were having fun with her. You know, not letting her talk, cut her off and all of that. But that's what goes on. So when I saw that thing about LA Comics, man, you know, it pissed me off so much that they would make such a big issue about it. But that's politics. That's how people garner news and followers. But the whole thing is, look, I see nothing wrong with a woman bending down to tie your shoes if she volunteered to do it. That's why I told them, while I was telling them, I said, look at when Mary Magdalene went to Jesus. Nobody told her to do it. Jesus didn't tell her to do it. But she felt it was a time to anoint Jesus. And she went there, she took the oil, the most expensive oil. She didn't buy cheap oil. She didn't buy fountain oil or fish oil or Joko oil. No, she bought real perfume oil. And she put it on her feet. And the oil was so expensive that even the disciples would say, man, what you spending all that money just wasting on Jesus' feet for? We'll sell that thing and make some money. And Jesus had to tell them, no, step away. You leave the woman. Let the woman do that woman money. That's what she want to do. So after she put the perfume on her feet, she took her hair and she wiped her feet. So what will you call that now? Will you call that suppressing a woman? Will you call that putting a woman down or demeaning a woman like some people are trying to say? You can't say that. The woman went and bought her own perfume, she bought her own oil. The same thing happened to Ella Cummings. This is not comparative now to say that Ella Cummings is Jesus and all of that. No, I'm not trying to say that. All I'm trying to say is we should look at examples. When people love their leaders, that's why I told them on that post. I say it has nothing to do with tribalism or suppressing women or abusing women. Men could have done the same thing. Men do the same thing. People don't understand people when they love their leaders. That what that woman did to Ella Cummings was a sign of love and respect. Ella didn't ask her. She didn't have to do it. As soon as they take her your shoes, she threw it right down. Before Ella could even get up, the woman down there, loosening on their shoes. You could see her in the video. I'm not taking Alexander Cummings' side. I'm just trying to be fair, as I've always been. Fair. Let's be fair. There's not no suppressing woman. There's not no putting woman down. There's a woman who got her off her own volition and want to show her love and appreciation to her leader. She got down on her knees or whatever, she bent over and untied his shoes. That could have been a man. That could have been a baby. That could have been anybody who cared about the leader. So when we talk about womenism and feminism, let's draw distinctions. Don't let us argue like stupid people. Yeah, they got foolish people that were just, two people on small TV that they argue foolishly like that. Oh, against tribal thing. Elecomits went up country. All our tribal chiefs from time immemorial, when they get in the village, they travel in the hammock. It has nothing to do with Congo. It has nothing to do with country. It's a traditional thing of the Liberian tribes. All the chiefs, their wives, their families, they carry them in hammocks. So when Tubman and all our leaders went up there, they accorded them the same respect and privilege and rights as they do the king and the chiefs and the tyrann. They put them in the hammock and they walk with them. That has nothing to do with Congo and country. So if people don't understand our culture and they want to use it in the political realm, let them use it good. Let them use it well. You see, that's why I try to do my show to come to enlighten people to say, look, I've been there too. We've seen that, we know our history. All of us been there. Some of us went to school and learned this thing here. Some of us went up country and saw it. I went to school up country. And that was one of the greatest things my parents could ever do for me, to afford me the opportunity to go to Cotton College. Because when I went to Cotton, it was a gateway to go everywhere in Liberia. We went to Basso, we went to Nima, we went to Lofa. I went all over Liberia from Cotton University College. Because first of all, I didn't have that parental control. Secondly, I was a basketball star. Every group was going somewhere who needed somebody from the campus to go play for them. So I wanted people, whether my group was going or not, people, hey, Chesson, come play for us. Come do this for us. Hey, even if I didn't go to play, sometimes I would go to referee. I go to do the statistic, because people want to take their own referees. They want to take their own statisticians and everybody who do the records. So I was always traveling. Yes, I didn't have money like other people, but I had money in different kind of ways. I went to school. I didn't have to spend money on many things. Many things came because of my talent. Sneakers, basketball things, because of my talent. And I wasn't greedy or running behind it. It wasn't a lifetime thing. I was a scholar athlete. It's different when just being an athlete. When you're a scholar athlete, you're different. You're in a different realm. You hear what I said, scholar? I was a scholar first before an athlete. My work was to school to get an education. I played basketball because I was good, and it afforded me a scholarship. It afforded me a chance to play basketball, get free money. It afforded me fame. All these things, girlfriends, all these things, So, hey, but you're always a scholar first. And that's the difference between people who just go play professional sports and things like that. They're different from the scholar athlete. The scholar athlete, no matter how good you are, your school is first. You're not there for basketball and everything. You have the gifted talent to play basketball. You know how many of my friends went down the wayside? One of my only friends that paid attention was Michael Wilson. If you all know Michael Wilson, Jojo Wilson. Yeah, man, when other in college, Jojo was still in Monrovia there. We used to jump in Jojo shit. Man, what you want to be? You want to be a grown-up boy? Huh? What you got? Oh, we should jump in Jojo, man. I'm Michael Wilson. We should jump in Jojo's shit. Jojo got he want money. He said, my man, I going to school. I going to Cotton. And they get Cotton. But we couldn't do it on my ball regional, man. And people who grew up with these athletes who didn't go to college and things, man, some of these guys were intelligent, man. One of the best mathematicians I saw, I knew, was Reginald Reese. In high school, Reginald Reese was a top mathematician. The guy was good. But he didn't want to do math. He wanted to do political science. You see, it's your orientation and where you brought up. You know, with me, from the day I was born, I knew I wanted to do political science. So there was no question about it. No matter how my friends used to joke me, oh, political science, easy. I said, well, yeah, easy. You come do it. They couldn't come do it. Because no matter what kind of science, math degree you got, you don't have the knowledge to do political science. You don't have the knowledge to do different things. You can be good in math all the way. You can sleep with math. You can eat with math. Only a few people around it like that, they can good in everything. But some people good in math, they good in English. Some people good in French and they're not good in anything else. So people are like that. That's the equality of life. That will make us dependent on each other. If everybody was a genius, we still need each other. Because if all are genius, we not know certain things to do. All of us will be way up there thinking so high, we wouldn't think about the common things that need to be done. You know, so now, like, I live near Brown University. Now, the students at Brown University, those are some of the top-notch, smartest students in the world. But sometimes they act so damn dumb. I'm telling you, man, because their mind's not there. Their mind's there. And the simple things that you be thinking of, they're not thinking about it. They would pass by it, and you say, hey, you don't see that? They say, Come to Providence and be on these campuses with these Ivy League students. They're geniuses. What do some of the shit that I do, man? You gotta excuse my French. But I am, man. You gotta question it. Because their minds somewhere else, in a different realm. Some of the things you say, well, man, how do you never know you can do that? They say, man, we're not thinking on that kind of thing, man. We're thinking somewhere else. My mind. Trying to solve a quantum leap problem. Trying to fix some engineering thing. I ain't got time to think of eating and all. Those guys will come, they will take the plate, forget the spoon. Just crazy things, man. So you just got to get used to them. After being with my wife for so long and being around the Brown University, she was a dean at Brown, she graduated from Brown. You know, so you get used to it. You know, sometimes because the kids are smart, they're not thinking always thinking on. And it's the same thing in Liberia. We got some smart kids in Liberia. When I visited Liberia, man, I went to the computer place. As soon as I said an older guy came around me because they wanted to see what I could do. When I opened my computer, it blew their mind. The first thing I started doing my graphics and things, they were totally blown away. They were all just looking. When I came back the next day, some of them were practicing it. The same thing I was doing, I just showed them how to access the program that I was doing. When I came back, some of them were doing it. They said, Papa, can see we're doing it, Papa. Same thing with my children on the program. Yeah. We got some very, very smart, ingenious Liberian people. But we got to move away from the negativity. We got to move away from the selfishness. I was listening to somebody was talking about how Liberian people selfish. I wanna Francis do. I think that was Francis do. He was talking on his show that one of our biggest problems is we're selfish. We mean to one another. And sometimes there's no need to be mean to one another. Sometimes we're mean to our own family people, man. Sometimes I sit among people and I hear them talking about each other. And people that I love to, you know, they're talking about each other. I'm just sitting there and say, excuse me, man, how can you people talk about each other like that? You know, in German, they call it Schadenfreude. People are happy when you fail. Anything you feel, oh yeah, I mean, you didn't do it. Thousands of people I know, and they're close to me. And they'll be happy when other people fail. Their own relatives fail. Yeah, I mean, want to do something, a girlfriend like it, threw him on the road. They call it Schadenfreude. When you be happy at somebody else's downfall. And that's how many of us are. I could never understand that thing. Some of my boys happy at the other boys' downfall and laughing about it and joking about it. And I'm like, what's wrong with these people? These people are crazy. But then they love you. They say they love you. So that's some of the monkey love we got. Man, we got all kind of juked up love in our country, man. I tell you. You know something? We need to define these things in our society. Ask people, what do you mean by you love me? You know, you steal from me. You know, you cheat me. Then you say you love me. You don't have to come beat me with a stick to say you're not on my side. But when you cheat me, you steal from me, you lie from me, you deceive me, you jack me, or you hijack me and do this, then you say you love me. You see that kind of thing we're suffering in our country, man. People say they love you, then you question the behavior. You love me, you do this to me. But you know, sometimes we don't have enough conversations with each other. Sometimes we don't clear the air good. We don't have a lot of family meetings and conversations. You know, most of our families don't sit down and have family dinners together. A lot of white people do. A lot of Liberians who came to America and all of that do. But for us common people, Liberian, one of us don't sit to the table and eat together. Yeah, when we sit around, everybody got a little bowl and plate sitting down, eating somewhere, eat different times of the day and all of that. But how many of us really sit to the table to eat together like we see on TV and talking? When you really come to the realization of life, that's the privileged life. In Liberia, when rich people sit to the table and have dinner at the table where all the children sit down and they have real conversation and talk, my father's family used to do that. Every time my father sit to eat, we all had to sit to the table with him and have conversation with him and talk with him because he demanded that. But I didn't see that in any of my other families. When I went to there, everybody came, took the plate and sit down. We talk, but we never sit to a table at a stable setting where all would just laugh and share each other jokes. Everybody would sit down, maybe one person would be in the living room, one person would be in the dining room, one person would be upstairs, and they'd be yelling, "What are you saying? I heard that, Baba Joe." Yeah, that's how most of us are. Y'all know that. We can't sit down at no table. Somebody be sitting in the kitchen, some eating in the kitchen, somebody sitting in the living room, somebody sitting on the stairs eating, somebody sitting in the room eating. People sitting all the place eating, we still having conversation. What you say? Did you say that? No, you didn't. Oh yeah. Conversation going on. But we're not sitting at the table. So many of us used to that kind of family. We come home, everybody going to work, you just go in the kitchen, fix your food, go sit down and eat. You know, maybe once in a while in the weekend, everybody will be home, but nobody sitting at the table. Everybody will get up and eat when they want to eat, when you feel like eating. Because I know right in my house, some days I don't want to eat until 3 o'clock. Some morning I wake up 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm hungry like a bat. I want to eat my rice. My wife be looking at me like I'm crazy. Why can't I eat rice 2 o'clock in the morning? I want rice. Go fix me a big pot of rice. my little African food I threw on top of that. When I finish eating that day, that's my brunch, my lunch, my punch. I'm not eating again at night time. You know? I don't know if that's a good way to eat, my people, but when you're so used to being on the move in this country, yeah, when you're working, all welcome to America. Let me tell you, my people, you're welcome to this country. People that work here, people that work like healthier. Some people don't even see food. When people be telling you the story about work and overtime and doubles and triples and sibbles and nommals and nibbles and tibbles, you'd be shocked. People work. You want to live in this big country? Nobody coming to give you things free. In this country, you come to America, you got relatives. After 3 months, people start treating you bad. They want you leave. After 3 months, you stay too long, Piggy. And these are the things they don't tell you. As a Liberian, when you come into America, they don't tell you all these things. You think they lie to us, man. Me and my boy, David Chair, you know David Chair, my boy. David Chair. Every time we see each other, we say, they lie. They lie to us, man. People take picture of the car, take picture doing all these things, having fun. When you come here, shit, you gotta work, oh. You used to working, you will pack your bag and hit the road back home. You will not stay in this country. All of you will come to America, everybody, oh, America, America, America. You see some of us here, we wearing this, all these things. You think it's easy to get it? Some of us been here 30 years before we can get all these kind of things. It's not easy. You got to stay at least good 20 years if you're a foreigner. You come into this country, you don't got nobody to help you. If you got relatives here already who can show you the way, you're good. You're lucky. Because some people got relatives to find jobs for them and all. They know people in offices to connect them to good jobs. When they come here, you think they've been living here for a long time. They just got here, but they got relatives. Everything here. Who know you? You know they call who know you? In Liberia, that small thing. In the country, that big. Who know you? Nobody know you. You ain't getting no damn job. Who know you is a necessity for you to get a job. Even in the military, for you to become an officer in the military, or senator, or representative, got it right and say, I know this guy, I'm making an officer. You can't just become officer in the U.S. Army like that. Somebody got a right to recommend you. That's for national security too, to assure that the people that are our commanders in our military are loyal to the system too. So all of that is involved. But people just can't come here from outside and go to officer training school and all that kind of thing. No, people got to recommend you from the highest realm. You know, so who know you is very important here. Excuse me. Who know you here is called experience and what do you call it? People who know you in the community, references. Experience and references. Because experience will tell you who you associate with. By your experience, I know who you associate with. By references, it tells me about your behavior in those places that you work. That way you get references so people can say, yeah, he worked here for years. This guy's a good guy. He works for 8 hours. He now on George. We are scheduled come 10 o'clock, leave 1 o'clock. No, that's not that kind of guy. The guy will work for 8 hours straight. He will not go work sick down every day, 2 days, work 1 day sick, 2 days work, 1 day sick. No. They don't want that kind of guy. They want you to work 10 years, you don't get sick. Yeah. They want you to work 10 years and not get sick, then it comes up to you. And you get paid for it too. You get paid for sick time. In certain places you work, you get paid big time, especially if you don't take sick time. They pay you for all that sick time. Sometimes they cut it off too. Because there are some people that work 10, 12 years, they never take off 1 day sick. At the end of retirement, you work 30 years, you got 30 years sick time on the book. They can't pay you for 30 years. Because each sick time are worth 8 hour pay. Because you sick for the whole day at 8 hours. So they got to calculate how many hours you've been sick equal to the pay you get, especially your wage earner. And if you're a wage earner, they got to cut it off because they will be paying you buku money. And they always cut it off. Now the new law in certain states, offices, especially in Rhode Island, when you save sick time over a certain number of years, you lose them. They call it use it or lose it. They force you to take sick time because they don't want to pay you. There's too much money to pay you. Because if you accumulate all your sick time and never use it, they got to pay you for it when you're leaving. So they say, no, if you work so many, you got over blank hours of sick time, you lose the rest. So they tell you, keep 100 hours of sick time. Anything over 100 hours, you lose it. You automatically lose it. So if you don't want to get sick, you don't want to go home and take a break, that your business, you just lose your sick time and you just go in the breeze. That one now some people forced to take sick time, whether they want to or not. Whether they want to or not, they got to take sick time. They say, oh man, we will lose the sick time. So don't think you come into America and everything there lovey-dovey. One, you got to know how to work. That's some of the ethics we want to bring to our country. Because in Liberia, our people don't know the ethics of work. Some people know it. Hard work, man. Look, in the country now, you work so hard, you wonder why you came to this country. You wonder why. Because sometimes every penny you make, they will work it out of you. Don't let nobody fool you and say things easy in this country. That's why everybody just won't come to America, won't come to, I say, you sure you won't come to America? It's a different life when you come here. As if you're a productive person, you're not live the way you want to live. If you're a person who want to live with fancy things, you will not live the way you want to live. You don't have the equivalent education. You don't have the skills. You don't have the kind of things. You're not willing to go be re-educated and all those kind of things. Those are things you got to do. Sometimes when you come to this country, you got to go back and get education. You know how many times I went back to learn certain things? I had to go back. Certain things I forgot. Certain things like elementary, you come here, you go take a test for a job, everything they're high school tests. What I know about high school tests, I feel forget all the kind of things. I had to go do re-education and re-learning to take those kind of tests over. Some of us will pass that stage. The testing in Liberia are different than the testing in this country. The people testing advanced. Some of the testing here, like they do a lot of 1, 2, 3, 4. Pick the best 4 out of the 4 answer. Pick the best one. Multiple choice. That's what they do here. That would kick my ass in law school because I couldn't pass that. Because all in my education in Liberia, we have been discouraged from doing that thing. During my era, for you to do multiple choice, you are weak. You are fissy. You are lazy. Everything in my country was essay. You had to explain in depth your knowledge. General law school. I tell you how I went to law school. We can't get one question. One question. The mayor just put one question. In that one question, you'll be sitting there for 4 hours if you want to answer that one question correct. That one people could never pass red. And people could never understand why people like us pass red. Because we understood the man teaching. People didn't understand the man teaching. The man will give you one question. How will one question last you 4 hours? Simple question, just one line of question of a case, the facts to a case. He will give you the facts. He will say decide. Now you got to sit there and argue pro and con and be the judge and decide the case before you pass. That's 3-4 hours right there. You're not getting under there for no less than 3 hours. No less than 3 hours because in that one question, Red will put thoughts, he will put property, he will put civil affairs, he will put evidence, he will put trust. I mean, the guy will load out one question, 1 paragraph with 3 lines. That man will put every subject in that one question. Oh, this person wanted to do this, but they fell on the land and they had to get up to go do this. Then when they were passing, the car swiped them on the butt. They fell down in the police king and took it. All that one was in the one fact. Now you got to sit down and decipher the fact. You got to look at what's property. That all he want you to tell him. And people couldn't do that. Because law is analyzing things. You sit down with a one question. Sometimes you sit down there, I tell you to laugh. Because sometimes the guy will be talking about something totally different. But in that thing, there is an evidence issue. You got to identify and say, well, he's saying about this, but I see something here about evidence, about hearsay, or about parole evidence. Some kind of evidence is in there. Some kind of evidence rule is violated in there. And you don't identify that, he will fail you. And Tuan Red, the reason why people love Tuan Red, my classes on Moore, the reason why all of us love Tuan Red, who used to pass his courses, because when you take Tuan Red tests, when you take a law school test with Tuan Red will give you one question. After the test, Tuan Red will come back with all your books. You get everybody their books, and he will stand in front of the class. And he will call everybody who got bull's eye. When they say you got bull's eye, that means you got the question on the 100% dot. And I never used to miss a bull's eye. Oh my! As soon as Tom got in front of the class, bullseye, Chesson, bullseye. Tom had a special honor roll. I used to be on that honor roll. All your Minister of Defense and Christina Ta and what these are top students now. Christina Ta and what the other girl name? Phillips. She went to convent too. Irina Phillips. Those were not easy people. Those were not easy girls in law school. Those were girls that were dukes and everything, man. But when they look at Rochester up there, boy, I tell you, the whole hour in law school, Tuan Red never spoke to me, man. I was scared. I thought my pa had told him that, man. I thought that man was going to fail me. But I wanted the fairest, man. He was fair, man. Tuan Red was fair. Because I remember one time, I told you I didn't before. He came in law school class. He brought his case where there was a side swapping of a car. This car was speeding, and the guy wanted to check, and his car skidded. And the way it skidded, it side swept something, and blah, blah, blah. So the issue was we had to decide who was guilty and all that. Oh, man, we went through that case. And all of us who argued, we had to argue for one person. I argued for the protester, because I was saying that from the car skidding, you could tell that the man was moving fast. Because when the car skid, if the car is not moving fast, you will not have a skid mark. You may not have a skid mark at all. You have skidding from the brakes, but not skidding from the car sliding sideways and all of that. You got to be running over 30, 40 miles for you to stop and the car skid all the way to twist. So it was not just twisting, you're running 28 miles, 25 miles, normal speed. So that was the issue. Was this man speeding? Is he guilty? I can't remember the case exactly, but I know he had to do with speeding. And all of us argued that the man was speeding, that from the skid mark, you could determine whether he was speeding or not. And he was the cause of the accident. And Tuan Red came to class, he said he didn't agree with it. And that one question cost almost half of the class 50 points. All of us who had passed that question, man, we were like, no. He said the question is wrong. We said, no. I mean, because most of us who usually pass this thing said no. Tuan Red took that thing to the Supreme Court. He took that whole case to the Supreme Court. He argued it with the judges up there. And they came back to the classroom. And one day was just in that class. Tuan Red said, I got a surprise for you. We said, what, Prof? He said, you know that case we did better the other day, and everybody failed, and most people failed. I said, yeah. He said, I decided to give everybody their points. Whoa, the class went upside down. Whoa, people coming from 60 and 50, you go straight to 90, 80. That one question was 50 points. For us who got the strict 50 points, and we failed, we are going down to the 60 or 40% for that class. When I make it that 50% back, we were strict to 80, 90. The whole class went wild. And what really made us respect Tuan Red was he didn't just throw the question away, because we challenged him. We said, Prof, we don't agree with that. We threw him in the class after everything. And this man was honest, man. He was just tough and mean. Tuan Red was tough, man. The guy didn't care. We argued with him. And I told you, after law school, I went to the bank one day. I was in the bank. Tuan Red came and stood by me. This man had never spoke to me in law school at all. This man was standing by me, and I was just there. I just ignored him. I said, well, probably not speak to me. Now, Tuan Red said to me, Mr. Chesson, you did very well in law school. Congratulations. Tuan Red said that to me. I wanted to fall. I wanted to hold the open. I wanted to fall in the ground. I ran out of the bank. I was like, oh man, I still get tears in my eye when I think about that because Tom Red to tell you did well, or you good, or hello. No, not that Tom Red. That one when Joe killed that man, my heart. Every time I think when Tom Red, tears come to my eyes. That was my professor, man. He was tough. I enjoyed his school, his classes. It made you study. When I passed Tom Red, no other teacher in law school could fail me. When I used to go on Tom Red, every time Tom Red draws a test, when the honor roll come out, chasing him on the honor roll. I couldn't fail again. Who would fail me? The dean, the toughest man in law school. Time to go. The sentiment's getting to me now. Let me go. Okay, my people, have a good day. My class is done.
I'm an agent here at AmeriLife, and I help people with their Medicare, life insurance, and annuities. If you ever need anything, please give me a call. My number is 434-426-9493. And we're located in Cranston, Rhode Island.